So, Jonny Clayton, we're here at the Winmau World Masters Media Day. You looking forward to it? Made the final last year. Unfortunately, came unstuck. Are you excited to get back to Milton Keynes and get going again?
Yeah, 100%. It's a great tournament. Not a good tournament. It's a great tournament because it's different and players like difference. It's a new challenge. It's a different mindset. It's different concentration. And like going on last year, my performance, I got to the final, which I thought, yeah, brilliant. Hopefully, I can do it again this year. I am looking forward to this. But this year's ranked again, so it's it's a tournament this year that can put your ranking points up, keep you in. I'm world number 5 at the moment, so keep me there, and that's what, as a player, I need to do. So hopefully, this is a good start to this year.
When the format was announced last year, was it straight away something you thought, this is a bit of me, this is my game to a T, and I could easily go on and win this? Or were you not so sure about it?
Not so sure, to be honest, because it was different. It's 2 legs. If you can you've got to put in your head that it's 2 legs. You win 2 legs, you've got that set. So it's different for us as players, different for me. But I really did enjoy it. I think it's, like I say, so different to other tournaments. It's something good. It's exciting. It's good for players, concentration-wise, different kind of match play, and it's good for the general public to have fun.
So do you think there's space for another different tournament like that? We've got the double in one at a Grand Prix. You've got this. Anything else you think could be good?
There's always space for difference, isn't there? It's just a change for us all, for the fan and for the player. So don't ask me like what, because I can't answer that question. But there's always ideas put in the air. Maybe one day one of those ideas will stick and there'll be a different tournament. So who knows?
So for yourself, you got included back in Premier League, and you didn't go to the World Series over in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. You seeing this tournament now as a bit of a chance to go, this is why I deserve to be in the Premier League?
Yeah, 100%. I've always, I'm the first one to say I love the Premier League. I've always wanted to be back in it. My chances come again. So, obviously I'm happy for that. But, this is the start of the year. This is where, this is money talks. Money is everything, as in your rankings, as in for yourself. I'm looking forward to this year. I think hopefully there'll be something special.
So what have you been doing the last few weeks since your exit out of the World Championships to get you in that mindset of going, this is going to be a special year for Jonny Clayton?
Well, do you know what, right? I am lazy. I am so lazy. I get bored of things very quick. So if I overdo practice, then I'll sit down for days and not do anything. So I've been trying to work out what works for me, and I put a lot of practice in. It was in the back of my head that I've got a good chance to be in the Premier League. So I've worked hard, and hopefully it's going to show once this weekend starts. And I love darts. I love playing the game of darts. So the best on that stage, in front of that crowd, it's second to none. It's fantastic, and I'm looking forward to the season.
Well, it's nice to hear that mindset, because we know there were points in your career where you weren't so sure. You spoke quite a bit about it last year. I'm enjoying the game again.
Yeah.
And you used to talk about potential retirement down the line. Being back in the Premier League, is that something that's going to keep you playing?
Oh, 100%. But I've got to that, we'll leave the Premier League there for a minute, because it's when you're playing good, when you're consistent again, that's what makes you feel good. And everything else is a plus. But to be back in the Premier League, it's a massive plus. So, I've worked hard. My darts are starting to show that I'm kind of back on track. So hopefully this year I can show that I am.
So when you talk about that and having that special year, for you, is it 2021, that sort of level? Is that what you posted yourself, your standard to aim for? Or are you, where do you see your
well, obviously, that is the standard I want back, 100%. And I'd like to get better than that. I'd like to pick, a few more trophies up, So, I'm not gone yet. I'm not finished yet. Like I say, 2 years back, different Jonny Clayton, So, but I'm back. I'm hungry. I'm playing well. So, I hope this year we'll be all right.
So in terms of other events like the World Series, for example, you still enjoy playing that just as much, of the travel? Well, we know you said a few Euro tours you weren't so enjoying the travel for.
Yeah, I think as players, traveling, nobody enjoys. Probably, and I'm miserable. So it's like, it's traveling doesn't do it for me. But the actual playing is fantastic. I think, I love every second of playing the game. Traveling, different kettle of fish, and the grumpiest thing ever. But no, playing the game, that's all that counts, and that's what I want to do well.
So back on this draw, don't know who you're going to face. Is there anyone in particular you don't want to face? That's, I don't know, Beau Greaves, for example.
Yeah, obviously I wouldn't want to play against Beau. She is fantastic. She every time you watch her play, she's an exciting player. She's on the tour this year, so I think she can upset a few people this year. And hopefully she just misses me in the in the Winmau Masters. So no, it's whoever it's going to be, who it's going to be. Nothing I can do about that. Just go sit and wait until Wednesday to find out.
Would you have a game against Joe Cullen, good friend of yours?
Yeah, I think we were speaking about earlier on when the draw came out, and I said, guaranteed to be Joe Cullen. I'm a good friend, we're best of friends, and it's just our luck that we draw each other.
Yeah, and back on the Premier League lineup, were you a bit surprised to see maybe somebody else, including Stephen Bunting? There's been a lot of talk about that. Did you think you nervous about your space, and were you surprised to see other people in?
To be honest, that's all I care about is me. I wanted to be back in. I've been on the end of the stick where I've not been selected like last year, and I was hoping that I was going to be in. So it's not a good feeling, and it's not for me to comment who should and shouldn't be in that. I wanted to be in, and that's all that counts, and I'm in. So I've got a smile on my face.
Do you think there's pressure on you as someone who's just come back in?
Yeah, probably. But I think there's pressure on every player in there. We're all trying to, stop the two Lukes. Michael's playing well. Gezzy's playing well. We can all throw darts. So who knows? It's 8 players. Somebody's got to come top and somebody's got to come bottom. So hopefully it's me that'll be top, not the bottom.
On the Littler, he's mentioned a lot about the trophies he hasn't won and how desperate he had to win them. One of them is this. Do you think that poses an extra threat to the rest of the field?
Yeah, obviously it does. He's a class act. He's got something that maybe I haven't got. He's got that switch that he can just turn on and just doesn't miss trebles or doubles. So, I wouldn't mind having a end of that, that switch now and again. But to be fair, what a player. And, I'm sure he's going to win every trophy that's on Planet Darts.
Is he the kind of person you think backstage is going to have a different sort of mindset to an approach the tournament he hasn't yet won?
No, I think Luke is so relaxed. He's he sits there on his phone, he play whatever games that he plays on them, and he's just a relaxed character, and he just takes it as it comes, takes each step the way he wants to, and just wins tournaments. So I'm trying to download the same games as he's got on his phone. So but all jokes aside, he's fantastic. What a player.
Do you take any still get those same nerves that you've always had, or has that changed a little bit in the last year? I think you mentioned previously to me that it's not quite as much as it used to be.
Still nervous. When you called on walking down the walkway. But I think it's good nerves. It's good. I think you need that little bit of nerves just to get you fired up and get you concentrating. So I still get a few nerves, but once I'm on that stage, the first couple of darts have gone, you set them pretty quick. So that's the secret, I think. The quicker you can settle in, the better.
Oh, thank you for your time, Jonny. Are you going to go on further this year in Milton Keynes?
I hope so. Yeah, it'd be nice to beat Luke Littler in the final as well.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Thanks, Bob.